Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we are building in the world of Hettenford on Bagley that came with the cottage living pack. Right now I'm just kind of showing you a little overview of what the outside looked like because of course I built that ahead of time since the outside seems to take me forever. But later on in the build you'll see I add a lot of stuff, so the outside does get added to, and you'll see that in the speed build, but this is just kind of like a little overview. Um, this is kind of okay, so this is a retail shop. This isn't a um, residential lot. I did set this as a retail shop, but I did build a little apartment upstairs. So I figured what you could do is if you want your sim to live here and have it as a retail shop, which I did in my game, just move your sim into like with a random family and then have them buy the retail shop, and then you can just have them go to this lot and just never leave. Just keep them there. Don't make them go home or anything. And what I did was the upstairs door where the staircase is, I just locked that for everyone but the sim that was running the shop. Um, and in my game, I had like it as like a little old lady running this. So that's kind of why it looks a little older and more like cottage core and all that kind of stuff, because I figured like that was the theme I was going with. But what I had in mind for this build was, as you can see, I put like the cupcake maker in there right now. So I think I ended up naming this. I know that this is, I think it says this is 3 Cobble Bottom Street in Henford on Bagley, but I ended up changing the name of the lot. I think I called it Petals and Pastries or something like that. So I figured like the backstory is this little lady, maybe like she doesn't live with like anybody, like I don't know if she's a widow or if she just never married or what the case is. Maybe she has family that lives in Henford on Bagley, but she lives alone and she runs this little bakery slash like garden center. So I really wanted to do kind of like a flower shop garden center for her, or for whoever you decide to put in this game. um but I didn't want it to just be like gardening, even though I really, really wanted to use the new kit. What is it called? The Greenhouse Haven kit. I think that's the one. I really wanted to use the new items from that again because I already built a build in Evergreen Harbor with the Eco Living Pack. I did like a whole greenhouse build a little while ago. It should be, you guys can see it below on my other builds. I might even like link that to this video if you guys want to check that out. But yeah, anyway, I still wanted to use a lot of those new items, and I did want to use a lot of items from the basement kit, even though, again, I did another build just specifically for those items. But I really wanted to take those two kits and kind of tie them together in this build, and I thought for this they kind of worked because like the greenhouse kit went really well with the greenhouse part of this build that I did, and then the basement kit, since I did the upstairs as like a little apartment for like a little old lady, I figured I used some of like the couches and the chairs that looked a little bit more worn, and they've been loved over the years, and like so I figured like maybe she's had them her whole life, and this is just furniture she's always had, so I wanted to look a little bit more dated and stuff like that, so that's why I wanted to use that kit instead of like nicer, newer furniture. um but for this build, it's very colorful. There's a lot of patterns, there's a lot of colors. I was just trying to kind of make it look very bright and friendly and sunny, and I don't know, I just figured like that was the vibe I was getting from it. So you're gonna see like I said, a lot of colors, a lot of patterns, because I figure that's the personality of the sim. They're very happy, they're very neighborly, very friendly. They run this little garden, flower shop, and bakery, and they're friends with everybody in the neighborhood. And if somebody wants something and they don't exactly have the simoleons for it, maybe they kind of just give it to them. You know what I mean? They're just kind of like that kind of neighbor. They're the kind of sim that they're just always going out of their way for others and helping others, and they're just their life is really good and they're just happy. So that's kind of the vibe I was going with the theme and the colors and all that. But yeah, here we're just kind of doing the kitchen little area. I figured this is where I put the cupcake maker, because I did put one of those little display cases from I think it's the Get to Work pack, that you could put like base pastries and bake items and stuff like there, like so right there on the screen you can see it. And like you could set it for sale. So I figured like she uses the cupcake mixture, she makes donuts and cupcakes and all different kinds of pastries, and then she puts them in a little display and sells them to the the town or whatnot. And then in the middle here in a little bit you'll see I put a couple little tables because I figured maybe like it's kind of like a little eatery too. Like the Sims can come here and buy their pastries and they could sit at the table and they could just kind of like eat and hang out, and it's just like a nice, friendly, fun area for like the neighborhood to just come and get together and mingle and stuff. Like that's what I figured. So I just wanted it to be a little bit of a bakery pastry like shop, but also somewhere Sims can kind of come and just hang out and you know have fun together. Even if you don't use this um like for your sim, like if you don't have your sim run the shop, maybe you want to put this in here and just have it as a retail store, and your sims can just come here and buy pastries or whatnot and just come and sit with their family and just eat and stuff like that. So I thought that was kind of like a fun idea too if you don't actually want to play with this build but you want it in your build. That was a nice little thing. And then like I said, on the other side right over there is going to be the greenhouse area, which is just going to have like a lot of plants and a lot of like seed packets and stuff. Like I set it all for sale, so I think when you upload to the when I upload to the gallery and you guys download it, it should all be ready to go. I put pastries inside the thing, and I added a bunch of seeds to the table, and I set everything for sale. So I think when you download it, it should all be there. It should already be for sale. I'm not 100% sure if that's how it works, but I think it does. So yeah, I just tried to kind of fill up everything and make it ready to go for you so you could just kind of play with it as it is. But there's a lot of garden. I put a ton of gardening pots outside. You'll see I put like the garden, like the ones from that come from the cottage living pack, like the big patches. So you could like your sim can grow like the apple trees and the lemon trees, and I put a ton of trees in like the different gardening pods too that are pre like uh I don't know what I'm trying to say. They're already trees. They're already blooms. That's what I was trying to think of. So, your Sims could just harvest them and sell them. Like, it's all ready to go for you. Or you could just, grow them yourself if you want. You can get rid of the ones that I planted and plant your own and then grow them on your own. It's up to you. But I just wanted to make this build, like, ready to go, ready to use. And here I'm just putting these little tables out front. I only put one plant on each table because I figured these are like display tables, and your Sims, I put a flower arranging table outside, and I figured Sims, if they do flower arrangements, they could place them on these cute little tables by the front door and set those for sale. So I thought that was like another cute little display area, and I don't remember what pack those tables come with, but I absolutely love that little floral tablecloth that's on them. I think it's so pretty, and I thought it just looked so nice with like the flower wallpaper and just like all the floral theme I was going with in this build. So I absolutely love those tables, and I'm gonna have to remember. Maybe they came with seasons because they had different seasons on the tablecloth, so that might be the pack they come with, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, they're just super cute, and I thought that was like a really cute way to just display like the flowers and stuff that your Sims maybe plant like arranges and stuff and sells. So I was just trying to think of any like surface areas I could put on here that you could place stuff on to sell and stuff like that. Like I really wanted this to be very retail heavy, but also pretty and cute and fun at the same time. But yeah, here we're just working on the downstairs bathroom. It's pretty straightforward. It's just like a toilet and a sink. It's for the shop part. There's another bathroom upstairs that's like a private one for the actual Sims. So this is kind of just like if any Sims come over and they have to use the bathroom when they're shopping, they can. But I went really heavy with the green theme. As you can see, like the windows and the doors and everything. Some of the green swatches seem to like clash a little bit, so I may end up changing the color of that door before I load it to the gallery. But I really like that deep green on like the window and the mirror and stuff that I use. I think that's really pretty. And those chairs that are around the table, I don't know what pack those came with either, but I thought they were so cute with that little floral design that's like on the back of the chair. As you could see, it's like it looks like it's like hand painted. So I thought that was like another cute little touch. Like maybe the Sim took these chairs and they were all run down, and that's why they're a little bit like the paint's a little worn on them, but I figured maybe she took them and just kind of restored them a little bit and just put like a new paint a coat coat of paint on them and just kind of did her little floral design and just made them look really cute and just kind of restored these chairs, and use them in her shop. Maybe she found them at like a garage sale or something. I don't know. That's kind of what I was going with, but I think those chairs are absolutely adorable, and I just thought they fit this build so well, so I had to use them. I had tried to use other ones upstairs in the apartment that kind of were the same, but they just didn't work. But I knew I had to use them downstairs in this shop because the green just went really well with all the other greens, and they were just so cute, and they just looked, like I said, hand painted and hand, restored or whatnot. So they were good for this build. And then here is I'm just adding a few little touches to the kitchen area, but we're gonna end up adding a bunch of stuff outside. Like I said, I was just trying to find any surfaces that you can add more items to sell. So I put a bunch of these, like, I think that garden rack right there with like the little boots and the hat and everything on it, I think that's from the new kit. I just think it's really cute, and I love all the little accents that are on it, and it just looks more, I don't know, like it just fits the build, and I love all the little things they added to it to make it look more used, like the little gardening hat and the little gardening boots and the shovels and everything hanging. I just love it. I think it's so cute. And like I said, it's functional as far as you can put things on it. So I did a bunch of, like, I think I harvested some of the items that I planted, and I ended up just laying them on those shelves, and the table, and then I set them for sale. So there's just like a bunch of fruit and vegetables and all that you could lay on there and just set for sale. And those other ones that are outside right there, I think those are from the Blooming Rooms kit. So I did use that kit a lot in this build, and it just worked really well with everything. So yeah, all these kits are just kind of just work really well together. And I know kits are like kind of like a hit or miss for some people. And in the beginning, like I've said before, I was not big on kits. I did not think I was ever going to buy them, but now that I have a few of them in my game, I don't think I could play without them because they just add that extra little bit to the builds. If you're just like a player, I can't imagine you really needing the kits because maybe you don't build a lot. But as a builder, I think kits are kind of useful because, like I said, that they add a little bit more to the build. They add a little bit more character. And they kind of just helps tell your story a little bit more with your build. So, yeah, I don't know. I like them. I don't have all of them. I'm not crazy about every kit that they came out with, but the last few that have come out, I have, and I'm just kind of happy that I got them. But anyway, here I just kind of extended this little porch area because I figured this is kind of like where I wanted to put a little seating area. I used those picnic tables again. Those are from the toddler stuff pack, I believe. And I just love that swatch with like the little picnic, like, I don't know what it's called, but that like red and white plaid color. I just love that on the tabletop, and I thought it just matched the build, and it just, I don't know, it fits the vibe that I was going for, so I had to use those again. I absolutely love that table, and I love that I found out it has all the swatches, so you're just going to see me use that over and over again in some of my builds, because that table is just so cute. But now we're working on the greenhouse, and like I said here, I added like this table that you can, like I put a bunch of seeds on it, and you could delete the seeds and put whatever you want on the table, but I put a bunch of seeds because made them sellable. And I just added a bunch of like fertilizer things on the bottom and stuff. And like I said, I set it all for sale. As you just saw, I added the little bunny, stump thing that comes with cottage living. I added that, and I added the bird stump because I know rabbits and birds can help with gardening in the game. If you have cottage living, which if you don't, a lot of these items aren't going to show up, but they definitely help with your gardening, and they can help like clean weeds out and like I think get rid of bugs and stuff like that. So I definitely wanted to add those to the outside because I figured anything possible that could help you with gardening in this build I was going to add. Because like I said, it's very plant heavy, it's very gardening heavy. That's kind of the theme with this build. So anything that I could add in here to help your Sims, I was trying to add. So yeah, I definitely added those so you can get like the rabbits to help you weed your plants and all that kind of stuff if you befriend them. I think you have to befriend them and have like a high friendship to do that, but you could always cheat it if you want. But yeah, I definitely almost forgot, but I knew I wanted to add that. But yeah, we moved back into the greenhouse. Like I said, this is the table. I just added a bunch of seeds and stuff to sell. And then I was like, oh, what can I put around it? And then I remembered they have I don't know if these are debug, I think they're in the debug under debug menu, but they're just the vegetables that you could actually grow. They're like the oversized vegetables. So I just want to add a few of the big ones in there because I figured maybe like these are the Sims vegetables that like the oversized ones that they're proud that they grew and like and I set them for sale, some of them. So I figured like maybe they just sell like a couple pumpkins and some oversized vegetables in here too that other Sims might want to buy. So I was just kind of trying to fill in the space and think about what I could add that kind of fit the theme. So I thought those were good. And like I said, I think if you sell them, they sell for a pretty decent price. I'm not sure, but I think they did when I had my sim play test this and sold one. They sold for a pretty good price. So they're a good item to have for sale. And then on this side, I just used those tall, like gardening, like the standing gardening from Eco Lifestyle, because I made that. I put a bunch of flowers in the standing one, and I figured maybe that's where the sim grows all their flowers that they plant, that they use to make their floral arrangements. So I kind of wanted like the flowers to be on the inside and have their own little gardening area. So I thought that was nice. And I know there's like certain seeds that you could buy for the standing planter. And you could plant like certain items in there. So I definitely bought all, like had my sim buy all those and plant them. So when you download this, everything should be already growing. Because I already planted everything and made it like accessible, so you didn't have to do all the work. And then here I'm just adding a few accents. I added that cute little cow plant in the little glass enclosure. I think it's like in the plant section of the game, but I just thought it was really cute and I thought it fit on that stand. And I figured when I added a bee, like the little bee hut outside. When I had my sim play test it, I had her collect all the honey, and I used that little stand that's on the inside by like the dining area, that little like sellable whatever it is, like the little, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but that little stand that's inside, I put all the honey on there because I figured that was like a cute little place to sell like the honey or the beeswax or whatnot. So that's why I added the bee hut into this build too, because I figured you could sell honey, you could sell the wax, um, not just plants and food and stuff like that. So I thought it was a cute thing. Or you could use the honey in your bakery items and then sell, and then make it with that and then sell that. So I thought it was like a cute way to incorporate the bees into how you could play with it. But yeah, now we're moving on to the upstairs apartment. This is like where your Sims can just like live. Like I said, you could just lock the door for everyone, and then if you have your sim buy this, you just like have them come to the slot and just don't let them leave and go home. They just stay here forever. So that's how you could take this retail lot and use it and play in it as like a residential lot, but you can't actually like move in here unless you change it to a residential lot, but then you won't be able to sell the items because it won't be a retail lot. But I know there is a mod out there that you could have like a retail shop at home, like where you could have it as a residential lot, but then open it up as like a retail store. I forget who does the mod. I'm sure there's probably multiple out there, but I used to have it in my game. So if you do play with mods, you could definitely do that and then make this a residential lot. And like I said, play it that way. It's all up to you, but I was just trying to make it easier for those who can't play with mods. But yeah, this is so we're just building upstairs. This is the bedroom. I did use a lot of patterns, and I was surprised by myself because I usually don't mix patterns in the game. Like I'm not a fan of like different patterns together. But for some reason, I just thought this bed from the high school pack, like that floral pattern, it just for some reason it went with this like leafy pattern on the wallpaper. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think the like bed sheet has like the same kind of leaves in it. That are with the flowers, so it just kind of worked. I don't know how I got, but it just did. So I really wanted to use those together, and then I used a nice cozy rug from the pastel pop kit because I just felt like this was supposed to be like their cozy getaway area, so I wanted it to be like nice and warm and cozy. So I thought a rug fit really well. And then I added this new archway from the Get Together pack. Because I just like that it was like open because I figured like I don't want a closed stuffy door. So I just wanted like a nice open archway and I thought it fit really nice. And then I used it as like a ledge here and I just put some plants and like little decor items and pictures up there. They're a little bit floating when you put the wall down, but I figured that wasn't a big deal. But I just thought it was really cute to use that as kind of like a little ledge and like a little extra area to put some like knickknacks and stuff. I don't know. I just kind of like the way it looked. But yeah, now we're just moving on to the little kitchenette that I added here. It's not very big. There's not, a ton of space in this build, but there's enough for a single sim, maybe two if you do, because I did put a double bed in here, so you could technically put a couple in here, or I mean, you could put like a mother daughter or a mother son, or you could, like, I guess they could kind of like share the bed if you really wanted to play that way. But in my mind, like I said, it was like just a little lady that kind of just runs the shop and does it. But yeah, you could definitely do two Sims because they could sleep in here and everything together. But yeah, I didn't add more than that because I didn't have enough room for another bedroom, and I didn't see this as like a family build. But you can always add, I guess. I don't know where you would add another. I don't think you could add another bedroom unless you add another story maybe and do like a little ladder. You could always add like another story to this build, but I don't know. I just didn't feel like it was that kind of build. But yeah, now we're just adding a few little things to the kitchenette. I wanted to add shelves into this kitchen, but it just seemed too tight and there wasn't enough space. So I thought it was really cute to just add these like old. They're wood and they're a little bit worn. They have a couple of scratches on them, so I kind of like the way they look. And they kind of added to like the cottagey feel, but I thought they were cute to just kind of line underneath the window. And then I just put a ton of clutter on there because that instead of cluttering up the counters, since there wasn't a lot of counter space, this was a perfect way to get clutter into the build and still have a functioning counter that your Sims can use to like cook their food and everything. So I thought that was a really cute like idea and that it worked really well and everything is functional. I play tested it, so yes, the Sims can use that little corner cabinet to cook on with no issue. Everything works. The bathroom is totally functional. I play tested it. The bedroom, everything is. The only issue is over here. You'll see to the left. I end up adding a little living room, and there's a fireplace. I try to do the little trick where you take like the little end table, or not end tables, the little coffee tables, and you take one and then another one and shrink it down and kind of like put them together. The only problem is with the placement of it, it blocked the fireplace, so I couldn't get them to light the fireplace. So what I did was in the screenshots you'll see, I ended up just deleting the one small coffee table, and then I just bumped the other one up a little bit against the wall instead. So now your Sims can get to the fireplace perfectly fine. It doesn't like get in the way. But yeah, in the screenshots you'll see the living room looks a little different as far as like the tables and stuff like that. But I wanted it to be completely functional and I wanted you to be able to light the fireplace. And the only way to do that was to get rid of one of the tables, which wasn't a big deal. I don't think it really mattered. And I did end up, like I said, bumping one of the little coffee tables up against the wall, like that back wall. It's not like centered. But I didn't think that it looked bad because I figured maybe in this build, since it's a single sim, they don't really need it right in front of them. It's kind of like their little to the side table that they could like put their coffee mug or tea mug or whatnot on it. So I didn't think it looked weird that it wasn't exactly centered. But if you don't like it, you could always just get rid of the table, or you could just put it in the middle and then maybe just not have the fireplace functional. But I definitely wanted it functional when I upload this, so that's just why I did it. But yeah, here I used the new couches. That's from that basement treasures kit. The couches and that little armchair right there is from the kit too, and I just thought it was so cute. And like I said, it doesn't look dirty or old, but it looks a little worn and it's been like used over the years. And like I said, I was picturing this for like a little old lady, so she's had this furniture for a long time. So I just love the new couch and the new chair, and I think for a build like this it just worked perfectly and the colors just matched really nice with the rest of the build. And yeah, I actually really do like the new couch and the chair. I think they're really cute, and I think they're, you could use them in a lot of different builds. So yeah, I definitely am happy with those, and I'm definitely happy with a lot of it. Like, I like that new old time TV that I put on top of the fireplace. That's from the new basement treasure kits too. And I just like the old timey look and like, with the little antennas on top and everything. I just love it. So I had to add that. But yeah, so here we're just adding like a couple more things to just make the room look a little bit more cluttered. I added like this new little telephone, like the old timey telephone with like the cord that came with the new basement pack. I put that on top of the fireplace, and the new little statue that came with it. And then I added this cute little plant. That cute little plant thing from the Blooming Rooms kit, I believe. It's on the wall, but I had to shrink it down to fit it in that space. And when you shrink shelves down, obviously it's like hard to place an item on top because they don't clip right. They like hover. So I didn't want to have to deal with that issue. So instead I decided to just put the picture on it and made it look like it was leaning. So that way I didn't have to deal with that clipping issue. And I just thought it was like really cute. So I just decided to do that. But now we're just moving on to the tiny upstairs bathroom that I had. As I said before, everything is functional in here. I play tested it with my sim that I put in here. So they can easily use the shower, the toilet, the sink. Here you'll see it, I put on this side of the wall, but I end up swapping it to the other wall because I wanted to be able to add a mirror, and this wall had a window on it. So yeah, I just decided to do that, and I absolutely love that with the update now we could clip items to the back of like the toilets and the sinks, and I think some of the tubs you can, and the new not the new, the rack that comes with base game, like that white, it kind of looks like just like a plain, like, I don't know, shelving rack. It always bothered me that you couldn't clip items to it because it was looked like it was made to put items on, but nothing ever clipped to it. So I'm so happy that they changed that and now you can clip items onto that rack because it makes sense. You should have always been able to, but it's not a big deal. Now that it's fixed. It's not a big deal now that it's fixed. Now I'm happy because I like to use that in my builds, but it was kind of a pain to have to like raise the items constantly and try to get it to sit on there right and everything. So now we can clip it. So thank you, EA, for that. But yeah, I didn't put a lot in here. I didn't clutter this build up too much because there wasn't a lot of space, but I definitely, like I said, utilized the back of the toilet, the sink, and all that to just put a couple more little clutter items. Like I put the little, I used a lot from the bathroom clutter kit, and I put the little cup there on the back of the toilet that has like the dentures in it. Because like I said, for this build, I made it like an elder sim, an older lady that kind of like runs the shop downstairs and then she lives up here. So I just think that's like such a cute item to add, and it adds a little bit more personalization, and I just love the little dentures and stuff. And the one, I think the other swatch is like a retainer, so I use that too. But yeah, now we're just doing the cute this little cute little seating area I did outside, like on the front porch. I just didn't want it to look plain, and I was gonna add more plants, but I just thought it was more functional if I added some seats and a little table. So these seats I think are from the Laundry Day pack, and they're like that wicker basket type of like look, and I really wanted to use this table, so I did that. I think that's from the high school pack. But yeah, we're getting to the end of the build, so if you guys like this, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next build. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.
Chairs are on the table, the floor has been swept. It's closing time and I'm a little tired. It's a long time since I'd slept. The things are moving forward, I'm ready to move on. Heading for a brand new start at the break of dawn. Here I come, you better watch out. Better beware, the rumor is out. Nothing can stop me, I'm going for gold. I'm out of the dark, I'm out of the cold. Here I come, you better watch out. You better beware, the rumor is out. Nothing can stop me, I'm going for gold.